morning on DC News Now. School safety concerns.
It's too much every day.
Dunbar High School students returning to the classroom after a shooting injures one of their classmates. Plus, persistent protests.
We are not going to let intimidation tactics scare us.
Encampments remaining on campuses despite a stern message from schools' presidents. Foggy skies start your day with more wet weather on the way. We're tracking when the rain could impact you. Saving money when the temperatures rise this summer. We're keeping you cool and keeping cash in your pockets. And Madonna madness. The queen of pop breaking records at a free concert in Brazil.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Well, good morning. It is 6 o'clock right now on a Monday morning. Starting off with a live look outside and a look at the radar out there. You can see the rain making its way to our area, but right now we're just seeing a lot of fog in places. But we do want to say thanks for starting your day with us here on DC News Now. I'm Tanaya Wright.
Good morning, Jim. Corey James. Shanika's keeping an eye on those roads this morning. She's going to have the latest on those conditions in just a second. Meteorologist Jackie Lair starting us off with some rain and fog today.
Yeah, we're seeing some of the foggier conditions, mainly north and west of the district, and eventually we'll see that fog lifting out later on this morning. The current conditions right now in terms of visibility, it is much lower, farther off towards Hagerstown, as well as Frederick and Leesburg, down about a mile in Manassas, less than that Fredericksburg, about a mile over towards Annapolis, and for much of the I-81 corridor, about a mile or less. Dense fog advisory remains in effect until 10 a.m. this morning for much of the area, and eventually that fog will lift out, but the clouds will stick around though. So we're looking at overcast skies through the day, and as this front is stalked off towards our north, that could produce an isolated shower or thunderstorm later on today. Those current temperatures, 50s and 60s, we're just shy, a couple degrees shy of 70 degrees right now in DC. We'll see highs right around 80 later on today. Could even see that isolated thunderstorm chance later on today as well. Tomorrow, though, better chance for some scattered showers and storms. Wednesday, a little bit drier out there, but warmer. Highs back in the upper 80s. More details of the rest of that work week forecast coming up, but Shanika's back. Look at those roadways. How's it look on this Monday morning?
All right, good morning, Jackie. Well, we're starting off with problems on this early Monday morning in Alexandria. So here's 395 heading northbound. It looks like this crash activity is taking at least two left lanes here right before King Street. So watch for congestion in and around this area here. Let's flip over to the map so we can see the rest of your commute. You can see that red spot there. That's congestion that's growing right now heading north into the district. The rest of your roadways, 66 east and west and 95 north and southbound, it looks good throughout Maryland. No problems.
Shanika, thank you. This morning in D.C., Dunbar High School students are heading back to class after a shooting on the school's campus.
The shooting happened Friday morning and left a teenage girl injured. DC News Now's Jean-Marie Sissay live in Northwest this morning at the high school where this all happened. So, Jean-Marie, two suspects are already in custody.
Yeah, good morning. 18-year-old Zaharia Graves and a 17-year-old were arrested for a shooting that took place not too far from Dunbar High School. And one of those bullets actually went through the windows of this school and hit an 18-year-old girl. 18-year-old Zaharia Graves and a 17-year-old arrested for a shooting near Dunbar High School. Now, this all happened on Friday just before 10 a.m. Police say a witness saw teenagers between Morgan Street and New York Avenue in Northwest. He saw them run out of an alley and one of them saying, "Get out, they're coming on the other side." Surveillance video shows nearly 15 teens near an alley, and minutes later, shots were fired. That's when the call came in. One of those bullets went through a classroom window, striking a teenage girl in the head. Court documents reveal that a basketball coach had to use the girl's jacket to apply pressure. She was rushed to the hospital and expected to survive. Now, police say Graves and a 17-year-old are responsible for this, and this is not the first time that a shooting like this has happened near Dunbar High School.
And you see it in the cars drive up, you see the kids going to the cars, you see transactions being made.
There's always big groups of kids over here on the playground smoking or drug dealing.
Now, Graves and that 17-year-old were charged with assault with a dangerous weapon, carrying a pistol without a license, and several other gun-related charges. Now, Graves is currently being held without bond, and that 17-year-old is expected to be in court soon. For now, reporting live in Northwest D.C., I'm Jean-Marie Sissay, DC News Now.
Yeah, Marie, thank you. In Prince George's County, police are investigating a deadly shooting. It happened late last night along Southern Avenue near the border of D.C. and Maryland. Officials say police were called to the area just before midnight. That's where they say officers found a man who was shot inside an apartment. Police are working to find a suspect in this case. In Southeast, neighbors paying tribute to a 3-year-old killed Friday.
Aya Settles was shot and killed outside of the Garfield Hills apartments. Now police say she was inside of a car when that gunfire erupted. Someone brought her to a nearby fire station where police and fire officials provided aid. U.S. Park Police flew that little girl to the hospital where she died.
Mother is going through tremendous pain. And I don't think the mom, the family, or anyone would want any other family to suffer like this.
It's wrong. I mean, even if you're out with kids, you should be able to have fun, but you can't even have fun living in these type of neighborhoods.
Police say a total of 7 cars were damaged. They are still searching for the shooter. And police are investigating a deadly crash outside of the White House perimeter gate. Now, this happened Saturday night at the intersection of 15th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. Police say the car crashed into the gate at a high speed. The man died at the scene. And the president of George Washington University is now calling the encampment on the school property illegal and potentially dangerous.
The pro-Palestinian encampment is now entering its 12th day. DC News Now's Liberty Zabala is live this morning. And Liberty, you're near where the students are now standing firm in all of this.
Good morning, Corey and Tanaya. That's absolutely right. The protesters are digging in for the long haul despite the university president's statement. You can see them still here behind me entering their nearly second week of their protest. The GWU president says that this is not a peaceful protest and potentially a dangerous occupation of university property.
The encampment entering its nearly second week with seemingly no end in sight. Protesters here demanding a free Palestine and calling on GWU to divest from any businesses that support the Israel-Hamas war. Now the GW president, Ellen Granberg, calling this protest no longer peaceful and in direct violation of university policies. She says the university supports freedom of expression and it has offered an alternative demonstration site, which has so far been refused. She detailed instances when protesters overran barriers, vandalized a university statue and flag, chased people out of university yard, and pushed GW police and maintenance staff. But protesters here are undeterred.
Our safety are all intertwined as one people, and I know that Jews cannot be safe while Palestinians are being oppressed and while Palestinians are being bombed and killed and starved.
Now, the GWU president also said that campus police are unequipped to handle this situation and that they're calling on DC police for support. As you can see behind me, DC police has increased its security presence here. We did reach out to DC police for a response to the president's statement, and we are waiting to hear back. For now, live here in Northwest DC, Liberty Zabala, DC News Now.
DC News Now is your local election headquarters, and if you live in Maryland and plan to vote early, time is running out to request those forms to mail in your ballot. Now, the state's Board of Elections says if you want your ballot through the mail or by fax, workers say they must receive the request no later than tomorrow. However, voters who wish to print their own ballot at home have until Friday to make the request. If you missed the deadlines but still want to vote by mail, apply in person at your local Board of Elections office. Mail-in ballots must be turned in by the state's primary, that is May 14th. And in-person voting in Maryland is happening now and ends this Thursday at 8 p.m. In Virginia, voters have more time, though. Early voting in the Commonwealth ends June 15th. The state's primary is June 18th.
And checking in on our schools, Teacher Appreciation Week starts today in the district. Mayor Bowser and D.C. Public School Chancellor Louis Farabee kicking off the celebration this morning in Northeast. They are hosting a lunch at River Terrace Education Campus, which is a school that serves students with the greatest needs. And Montgomery County announced the winner for the Teacher of the Year.
Yeah, school officials say Melissa Porter Parks is this year's winner. Now, Porter Parks is an English language development teacher at Gaithersburg High School. She oversees the largest ELD department in the school district. Now, Porter Parks tells DC News Now she wants to create an inclusive and welcoming environment for students.
My goal is always to let kids know that I'm here for them. My goal is always to approach every student with that unconditional positive regard.
Porter Park's win now makes her a contender for this year's Maryland Teacher of the Year.